welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us. I know that this is time out of your day to do this type of thing, so very much appreciate that. So I first of all wanted to start by introducing my friend from Wattsense, Romain, and kind of go on to the initial slide. So Romain, should I keep control for the time being, or did you want to take control?
That's right. Yeah, that's okay. You can take control.
Cool. Okay.
Thanks, Craig. So my name is Romain PHILIPON. I'm the sales executive of Wattsense. Wattsense. So we are a French company. You may notice from my accent, was created in 2017 by Louis Morel. We're based in Lyon, not too far from the Alps. We are a growing team of 21 members, and we've just been acquired a couple of months ago in October 2021 by Siemens, from where we still remain autonomous company, but we are now part of the big company organization. Next, please. So our mission is to make building more connected by simplifying IoT and BMS integration. We created a plug-and-play gateway. Looks like that. Okay, you can see in my hands. It's a multi-protocol gateway which allows to connect simultaneously various protocols. Can be wired protocol such as Modbus, MBus, BACnet, LAN, KNX, LPB, Diametic, as well as wireless protocol such as wireless MBus and of course LoRaWAN. The idea is to provide a simple and open and interoperable and agnostic solution. So behind these two fancy words is to say that we don't really bother on the brand of the equipment that we want to connect. What matters to us is a language, is a protocol of communication, so that we can connect different protocols all together and simultaneously. And then basically you get two choices. Either you can send the data to a cloud server and the integration will be done with a REST API or by MQTT, or we can also convert certain protocols such as Modbus, KNX, or LoRaWAN to a local protocol such as BACnet IP and Modbus IP. So that's very easy to install. You put on a Railin, plug and play, just power it up with a 24-volt DC, and then we can just make the connectivity. Easy to use. We're going to do a demo in 15 minutes. You can see that very easy to and very intuitive to connect and to use our what we call console of configuration, which is our platform to connect and configure the equipment. There's no integrators required. It's a no-code technology. Everything can be done with 2 clicks on our console. The idea is to have a fully open solution so that we can keep control of your building, and it's up to you to decide what you want to collect and which command, of course, you want to send to the equipment. Our solution is bidirectional, so we can collect data and send command to an equipment. Of course, we take cybersecurity very seriously. We have a lot of work on that done. All these data are encrypted end-to-end. We use the 4G SIM card that we can see 2 antennas, one for the LoRaWAN, one for the 4G SIM card. The 4G SIM card get data to a server. Everything is encrypted, and we have a high security architecture. You can find everything detailed in our website. One last word to say that the solution is included in the box and a hub. There's 2 products that I'm going to define later on. The hardware is the same. It looks like that, and everything is part of the solution. We provide a full training if required, which is very basic. We have a YouTube channel from where you can look at some videos, some tutors on how to use and how to make some functionality, which is again very easy. And the idea is that you keep control of your building, you can edit it very easily so that you can do whatever you want with them.
Rightio. So, just making sure that slide has gone over. So, I'm Craig Herrett. I'm the sales director of Alliot, or All IoT. Pronounce it however you like. So just a bit of an introduction around us. So we started approximately 3 years ago, and we've been in VAD, or value added distribution, for over 20 years with our other company, ProView. We wanted to make IoT easy. So the first part for us was ensure we became experts within the low power WAN arena. And there's kind of a few pieces that we want to provide. So we want to be experts to the channel to help them build, solve challenges using IoT. We want to provide off-the-shelf products with lots of cases, next day delivery service. We want to provide services to enable plug and play deployment. And we want to be able to provide platforms to enable our customers to provide remote monitoring and management. Really, we just want to be the support for our customers from conception through POC and commercial deployment. And we see the Wattsense product as key to that, to kind of make your solutions a lot easier, either in initial concept, initial deployment, or even in cases of retrofit. So why buy from us? We are experts. We help design your solutions. We help manage your deployment schedule. We will provision your hardware so you can receive them for plug and play installation. We will help you provide all the tools from data collection through to visualizations or dashboards. So I just wanted to quickly flick through to what is a typical building for the Wattsense product. So hopefully you can still see my screen. I'm just going to check that now. Yep. So hopefully you can see my screen where it says connect and control your building, and we've got a building here. And the Wattsense box would effectively take feeds from all of the named areas there. You can actually see on the bottom left-hand side where it says box, that will be the Wattsense box. And it will take feeds from the meters, from the boiler, from sanitary hot water or a garage door, chiller control. And it will take them over a number of different protocols, which might include LoRaWAN. For instance, if you're going to put in some, I don't know, some clamps for measuring electricity or some temperature, humidity kind of in the room with the radiators. But it will also take the existing backnet, as Romain alluded to a second ago. So it becomes a really versatile device when used on any building, but a typical building as you've just seen there. So Romain, we get asked loads and loads, what is the difference between a hub and a box? So if I could hand over, give you control of the webinar, and perhaps you'd answer that for us.
Right, thank you. I think you need to show the next slide.
I've just given, oh, okay, I've just given you the control. So if you want to pass that back to me, then I will.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, right. There we go.
Thank you. So basically, we've got one product, which is the gateway. So on that product, we've got two applications. One, what we call the box, one, what we call the hub. The main difference is in how you're going to use it and what would be your main application for it. With the box, we decided to provide an operated full turnkey solution. So we provide the connectivity, we provide the 4G SIM card with our SIM card, which is a multi-operator SIM card, and will connect on the best network on that point of connection. And we also provide the server where the data are stored, so that you can integrate all the data with your server with the REST API. We just give you an API key and we open the door for our server so that you can collect and fetch all the data. And everything is part of the package. So the configuration, of course, will be done online. That will be part of the demo I will show you on the web page. And we get access to the database of equipment which are already decoded. But with the box, we provide all this connectivity, so the 4G, the API, and the server, and we have some functionalities which are part of our platform, such as the possibility to upload your own plan. If it's your office, if it's your residence, if it's your boiler room, you can just like upload the document as a PDF or a JPEG. We've got also some graphic mode to simply make some trends of some data that you'd like to see. And we also offer an alarm functionality where you can create and customize your own alarm so that if your compressor has an amperage 20% above the limit, you send an email or a text to a technician. Or if you want to monitor that the CO2 level of a school room is above 800 ppm, that it will send an email to a design person. We can configure all of that on our console of configuration with a box. So we had the box for a few years, and around a year and a half ago, a client said, I like your solution, but I've got a bit of an issue. I cannot use your cloud because for some reason we realized that some big company, big multinational company, forbid to use an outside cloud. Some countries as well doesn't want to use a cloud based in Europe. What we do, we've developed based on the same hardware another solution which we call the hub, where by default the data stay local, meaning local, so that we can convert certain protocol, LoRaWAN, KNX, Modbus, to BACnet IP or Modbus IP, so that all the connectivity is done locally and the data will stay local. If you need to communicate with the hub and send data to your server, that will be possible. But in that case, it will be up to you to provide your own Ethernet with a LAN connection. It will not be possible to use a 4G SIM card to send data to a server. The 4G SIM card provided will still be available, but that only will be used for the configuration to have access remotely. But if you want to connect the hub to your server, you need to provide your own Ethernet connection, and the integration will only be done with MQTT, from where you need to get your own broker. What does that mean? I mean that from a technical point of view, we don't have to organize the connectivity of internet, and we don't have to store data in the server. Everything is managed by you or by your clients. As a result, the business model of the hub is only a one-time purchase, like you buy it once and then you can use it for how long as you want. While with the box, the business model is based on the hardware plus a license, which of course includes the price of the 4G SIM card and the functionality to get data stored in a server. The difference, box, it's an operated solution from where we manage the connectivity, and the hub is a one-time solution from where you have to organize all the connectivity should you need to communicate with that hub and your server.
Perfect. So just for summary, a hub is on-premise, and a box is cloud-driven that Wattsense will look after.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect. How about a live demo?
Sure, yeah, right. I can.
Let me pass over control.
Thank you. So now, right up, you should be able to see my screen now.
Yes.
Right, okay, that's okay, good. So that's a demo of what we call console of configuration, which is primarily used, of course, for the configuration. Call it a platform, call it a console, as you like. But the idea of that console is a web page so that you can do everything remotely. You've got, of course, a login and a password. I've just logged in right now. And you have on the right-hand side all the list of boxes which are connected to the account I've logged in. That's a demo account. That's why you see a couple of red dots. That's because it's used for demo, test, and development. So we see a couple of boxes based on the map in the world. Of course, our solution is used worldwide. Right now, we have more than 130 clients, and the solution is used in 26 countries. So UK is a good country for us, thanks to all IoT. She's doing a good business and good development. We also have some project in the Nordic countries, Eastern Europe, and we start to have project as well. We have a good distributors and a very dynamic market in Singapore. We are going to see how the market is, but right now Europe is a big focus for us, thanks of course to the BACS decree or EPBD, which is a good traction to develop this business. So on the right hand side, you can manage few boxes linked to the account. You can have, of course, various accounts, and you can have various boxes per account. And on the left hand side, there's more how to organize your own organization. So you can create an organization by clicking on it. And then for each organization that you create, or you can create sub-organization. And for each unit created, you can manage who does what. Of course, some people we have different restriction. Let's say we got a restriction on that person, and you can say, okay, he's going to have the admin right, or he's going to have a read-only user, or maintenance technician, or a site integrator, or custom right, from where you can decide who does what. Of course, a technician will have different restriction, rather than a software integrator will have access to everything. That's managed by you. We don't have the right to look at it. So that's up to you and to your organization to decide who does what. API key, should you need to integrate with the API, you create your account service and you will have an API key where you can do the integration. Different boxes are listed over there and different hubs are listed over there. Should you need to do a bit of edge computing, you can click on file management and you can write your own script in Python. Then you can upload it directly to the device, and then you will have an edge computing device. If you want to make some small program, small script, something that you want to do automatically, it's up to you to write it. Let's go back to the location. So I'm in the office right now. I'm going to take over the box I've got. It's called box demo, which is based over there in Lyon. By clicking on it, let's jump first to the configuration. You see that we have some equipment which were already integrated. We've got a couple of sensors in LoRaWAN from MyClimate. It's a Viki, the thermostatic valve. And we also have a sensor from the brand Nexelec. We also have a couple of equipment in Modbus IP. We can have more, not just for the demo. Now, you have a sensor in your right-hand side and you want to connect to the box on your left-hand side. What do you do? Well, that's simple. As I said, it's no-code technology. Everything is intuitive, and you have to click on Add Equipment. Add Equipment, you've got a couple of functionalities. Bulk creation. It's like if you have 50 sensors on the same configuration to connect, you're not going to do 50 times. You do it once, and then you replicate all the time, so that is automatically done. Advanced mode for the integrators, if you want to play with the configuration and go into detail on how to make everything as alike, you go to advanced mode. And the magic mode with a small magic hat, which we call wizard of configuration, is because everything is already pre-made. If you want to connect to a BMS and to do a scan and look at all the backnet objects, you run a scan, and that's as simple as that. And then you have a list of equipment that you can click and select. Or if you want to pair an equipment which is not in backnet, we have a choice to look at our database of equipment already decoded. So you select an equipment from that list, and you just have to type the equipment that you want. Let's say you want to connect a temperature sensor, you just type temperature. And the equipment with the name temperature in the title will be listed. You can have some sensors of the brand Adonis, from Dragino, from MKI, from Radio Bridge, SNC Lab. It's the same with every equipment. You can type a brand, you can type a model, you can type a type or a description. You will have all this equipment. The list of equipment decoded is available in our website for you to look at. If you want to connect an equipment which is not in our list, please let us know and we will add it for you for free. That's why our list increases every week. We get new equipment added so that we become more and more compatible with different equipment. So now, an example, let's say I want to connect temperature V3 from the brand Adonis. Well, I click on it. Protocol, that would be LoRaWAN. Okay. A codec is already there, meaning the equipment is already decoded. We look at the codec and the payload, so the data you will receive will be the decoded data. What you have to do, of course, is to inform the dev EUI, which is a unique device identifier provided by the manufacturer. That's a 16 digit. So I'm gonna have one in front of me. I'm gonna take some random digits. I've got 4, 8, 12, 16. Copy paste, send for the app EUI provided by the manufacturer, change one device. And the app key is a 32 digit. And I'm gonna change that. And then I can go on next. And the console platform will show me automatically all the properties specific for that equipment. So if you want to take all of them, I take all the properties. Or if you only want to take few of them, I take the battery level, I take the sensor 2 temperature and the sensor 1. I've got my 3 properties that I'm interested in. I save. The equipment is saved, property I save, and that's it. The equipment has been paired, it appears over there. If after an hour or if after a year, I realize for that equipment, I need to have more properties, there's no point to call an integrator. There's no point to let us know. You can directly go by your own on the property and you say, oh, well, on our equipment, I forget. I also want to take the sensor one alarm high temperature threshold. Go on that, click on it, you save change, you send the new configuration to the box, you wait for 5 seconds, and then the box will say, take into account, okay, I've got 4 properties that I need to register. Here you go, you go back to the configuration, and you get 4 properties. The data, again, you will receive would be the decoded data. So you don't have to do all the decoding. From a technical point of view, the device has the LoRaWAN server network embedded so that you don't have any latency to connect an equipment, and all the configuration is done by us. So everything is pre-made, everything is pre-integrated. You just click on what you want to collect. At the same for other equipment, if you want to connect a boiler, you click on the wizard configuration on equipment. Your boiler is from Atlantic. It'll be the same. For instance, tap Atlantic on the I don't know, on the VAR3 boiler. That would be a Modbus serial. Okay, you go on that, you click on it. It's on the Modbus RTU port 1. You get 2 ports per box. The default information are registered over there. You click on next, and then the console will show you and display all the property associated for that boiler. How many do we have? We have 81. We're just going to click on the ambient temperature one and the burner state. That's what interested to me, and maybe as well some write functionality so that you can turn off or on off the circuit heating system. Click on it, you get a 3 property, you save, equipment is saved, and that's it. In 2 minutes, you manage to connect a sensor in LoRaWAN and a boiler in Modbus serial. That's how the configuration works and how easy it is. That's what integrators and the system integrators, they like us very much because it makes the jump very easily. We believe that the system integrators got a difficult job, and sometimes they don't have the appropriate tools to connect equipment. They have to know programming, they have to know the equipment, they need to know the table of exchange. That's tricky. That's very comprehensive information. What we provide is simple tools to connect easily so that you can make the building more connected. And we do the same with different protocols, the same with BACnet, with Modbus, with LPB for the regulator, with the KNX if you have a Synco. That's how we do. Couple of functionality which I want to show you. Let's say you have an existing BMS, or you have a Train IQ4, you've got a system communicating BACnet, and it is not compatible with LoRaWAN. But you have connected a sensor, and you want the LoRaWAN sensor to be fed to the BMS. Again, that's for us an easy functionality, what we call LoRaWAN to BACnet. What we simply do is, let's say I'm going to show you on the temperature sensor I've just connected 2 minutes ago, how we can send all these 4 properties to BACnet IP so that it can be read by an existing BMS. We're going to create virtual gateway. So first I'm going to look at if he has no BACnet network. Okay, so I'm going to create one. I'm going to create my gateway. Create my gateway. That will be a BACnet gateway. Description that will be for you that you like. Protocol to choose from: BACnet IP gateway, Modbus IP gateway, MQTT, or plugin. Let's choose the BACnet IP gateway. Click on it. It will be connected on the port on the left-hand side. Up, I go and save. My BACnet gateway has been created. Of course, right now it doesn't have any property, so we need to assign some property to be converted. How do we do? We just click on the property, and we're going to add some property. Which property are we going to add? Well, let's say the temperature sensor I've added 2 minutes ago. The temperature, and that's from the term V3. Remember, I get 3 property plus 1 I've added after. So I got my 4 properties over there, which are just now in LoRaWAN. By clicking on save, I'm going to convert that LoRaWAN property into local, into BACnet IP. So that if I want my BMS to read my sensor temperature 1 on the BACnet object number 57, I go on the property and I change the BACnet instance to 57. I save, and so that I change the register address so that the data can be read very easily to the existing system. It's as simple as that. We can do the same with the Modbus IP so that a PLC or SCADA can easily read data LoRaWAN which have been converted to a local protocol. Save change. I send the new configuration to the box, and my gateway has been created. That's how what we call LoRaWAN to BACnet, LoRaWAN to Modbus is a very easy way to convert a LoRaWAN equipment to a local protocol. And this can be done with every brand. We are interoperable. We can connect LoRaWAN from Adonis, from Nexelec, from eWatch, from LC, from MileSite, whatever you like. As long as it's LoRaWAN, we'll be able to connect it and convert it.
Romain, we've had quite a few questions come through, some of which we're answering as we go and some of which we'll pick up at the end. But one of them, which I thought you was actually just demonstrating, but was actually demonstrating the reverse. So I'm now going to put you on the spot. So, Amarjet has asked, can we see how different objects in BACnet IP are scanned and how we can label them? So basically he wants to scan its BACnet objects. Have we got anything within the demo that can enable us to do that now? Or could you just talk us through how they might scan BACnet, identify and label the current BACnet objects?
I can try, but I don't know. It might take a bit of time. It might take a while because I know we've got that box live for real. And basically, what we do, you go and add equipment, you go on without configuration, and you run a BACnet scan. By clicking on it, it will tell you which port you have, and you go next. And by running a BACnet scan, it will load, it will identify everything, and then all the BACnet object will show up. It might take 2 minutes. It might take 10 minutes. So unfortunately, I don't think I can do it right now doing the call. But you know what? Maybe after the call, you leave your address and we can make another demo and we can do the BACnet scan for you.
Perfect. But once that scan's run, then you can obviously change the identifier so you can actually make a friendly name so you know what you're you know what you're looking at. Perfect. So Amarjet, hopefully that answers that question. But if you do want a bit further detail, by all means, email into Alliot, and then we'll get kind of a one-on-one set up. Or if anybody else wants to join that as well, then we'll absolutely do that. Cool. Romain, is there any more to go through on the demo at the moment? Sorry, I just interrupted you.
That we have. Thanks, Craig. So I'll just show you the tab configuration. We've got a couple of tabs here, which is how we can monitor and how we can get some basic functionality. The first one is schematics. You can upload your own plan, as I mentioned before. You just click on an image and it will open once. I've got my office plan here. I'm going to click on it and I've got my office. Then I say, OK, this is my floor plan. I want to look at the temperature sensor that was installed in my office, my desk. I go on the property. I'm going to have the V-key, of course, because that one has been turning for a while. It's a sensor temperature. I click on it. It appears over there. I turn the color, I put red. Go on that, and I know that the sensor is over there. So every time I will open a page, I will have a very basic view of some property. It can be temperature, can be amperage, can be some data of your boiler room, can be anything you want, but you can have a look at the property that you choose by yourself. I save and up, and that's it. It'll be saved. So now every time I open a page, I will have my data in real time. We also have a graphic mode. Let's go with some example. I'm going to get this same data on the sensor temperature, and I have the data. Can change the date. That's for 2 days. I'm going to take for 7 days, and I will have a trend of the data. That's okay. It's been quite sunny over the last few days in Lyon. You can see that the temperature reached up to 22.5 degrees. The sensor is installed on the desk, and probably the sun was heating it directly. That morning when we were in the office was quite chilly. We were around 10 past 8. It was 19 degrees, and now the temperature raised a bit up to 25.2. That's real time, of course. Data can be exported, can be saved as a graph, or they can be archived. Yeah, you can do that with every parameter that you choose to have. You can monitor and plot everything. We have the live data. If I would save, nope. We've got the live data. Again, if I go on the live data of my V-key thermostatic valve, I can have a look at my battery voltage. I can have a look at some alarm, at some information. Humidity 32%. That's not bad. Temperature, and I can have a look at if everything is correct. So I have a quick view of the device. The last functionality, which is useful to monitor and to make sure that your building operating well, is the alarm. That's the new functionality we released. We can create an alarm. You go in configuration, in add an alarm. Let's say you want to go on the temperature. That's a good one because we get a sensor. Right, temperature on the alarm. You type your name, temperature. You describe as you like. Scenario, the trigger would be the equipment itself, the value based to a property. let's go with the value property. The property is temperature. That's the underneath sensor I've added for the demo 2 minutes ago, the TOM V3. I click on it. Condition is the data is within a range, outside the range, true or false. Let's say it's outside a range. I set up my range at 5 degrees Celsius and 35 degrees Celsius. And every time I've got a value outside the range I've just defined, I will have something, a notification sent to somebody external by SMS or by email. You can say by SMS, number in the UK, and you've got put phone number and it works, or an email. I just put mine so that I can save it. I got my email and it's a notification. I save it. Okay, the alarm was saved, and I know from now on, every time my temperature will detect something below 5 or more than 35 degrees Celsius, I get an email is because something went wrong. You can do the same with any property, with a value of a regulator, a controller, anything you want to control. There's no point to send a technician every time on site to monitor something. You can configure that by yourself on a console. That's basic functionality. It doesn't have all the fancy stuff or the prop tech what they do, but that's enough to start a first level of monitoring. That's pretty much it, what we do on the console. Of course, the data can be archived and you have all the logs as things happen. That's more to look at what was done on this console. But the idea is to get something very functional, something easy, something intuitive. And of course, you keep control on that system. It is open, it's up to you to decide what you want to do.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Romain. We've had loads of questions. We're not going to get through them all, but what we will commit to doing is we'll send out an email to everybody with all of the questions and all of the answers on. So I know there's a number of you that have asked questions, some more detailed than others. 2 seconds, I'm just going to try and make sure that we've got the right screen showing. Yep, perfect. And then so everybody will receive an email with all of the questions, and then as I say, you can get in touch with Alliot. So the email is contact@alliot.co.uk. We'll be able to field everything in the first instance. The way that Alliot works is we work very closely with Romain. So in a lot of instances, we may end up jumping on a call. So it'll be the customer, like maybe yourselves, a member of Alliot, and a member of the Wattsense team, which in most cases is Romain, because we monotonize his time probably far too much than we should.
We also have a team, I have to mention it, a team of support engineers, which are very useful. If you have any technical issue, if you have a project, we have a team dedicated for the support. That's good to know, because we know that we can take over the box if something goes wrong, and we can assist you with the setup and with the configuration.
I think the only thing left to say is obviously we've gone over time. We'll get back to these questions. In summary, Alliot took on the Wattsense box because we see it as a huge opportunity for people that are currently in the building management services to either retrofit, add additional sensing devices with incredibly low costs, quick, effective deployment, and obviously the operation of that being a lot easier, whilst also not taking away just the retrofit business, but also new projects to use the Wattsense box to do it. From my old terms as a telecoms kind of engineer, that it reminds me such as a gateway where it would convert pretty much any other protocol into something that we're actually using more and more now, which is the LPWAN technology. And then obviously that doesn't actually lose any of the benefits of the original BMS systems such as BACnet, etc. So I think that's all from us. Thank you very much for joining.